Hi, I'm Jimmy Chang, and we're here to talk about how to solve equations by factoring with fractions. Now, generally, when it comes to factoring and fractions, you generally want to get rid of the fraction first and then factor later. But sometimes if you must, for whatever scenario, need to factor the fractions involved, then well, here's one way to do it. But it all depends on what the context of the equation is and how convoluted it might become. So here's an illustration for you. Suppose you have 1/2 x plus a quarter equals to, let's just say, 3. Now, there's a couple ways to do this, and you can get rid of the fractions right away if you like, but if you want to factor, then here's something to consider. You want to think about what you can factor out from these two terms here, and you can actually factor out a 1/2, because 1/2 goes both into 1/2 and 1/4, and then you write what's left over. 1/2 times what is 1/2 x? It's x. 1/2 times what is what quarter? It's going to be 1/2, and that's going to equal to 3. Now, at this point, you want to solve for it if at all possible, and preferably you want to get rid of the fractions. Now, because the denominator here is 2, it's multiplied, you want to multiply both sides by 2, like so. The 2's cancel. You have x plus 1/2, and that's equal to 2 times 3 is 6. And then you want to solve for x now, so subtracting 1/2. So you have x is equal to 6 minus 1/2 is going to be 5 and 1/2. And then what you can do, if you like, convert it to an improper fraction, which is going to be 11/2. And then you're done. In this case, factoring with fractions is pretty straightforward, but it really depends on how many terms that you have and how complex the equation is. But more often than not, you want to get rid of the fractions first and then factor later. So I'm Jimmy Chang, and that's an introduction on how to solve equations by factoring using fractions.